Hey guys, it's Lexi back with another video, and today we're gonna be we're gonna be talking about the scariest day of my life. So it's gonna be kind of emotional. I might get a little emotional. I mean, I try like not to get emotional over this anymore, but some days I still tend to like get emotional over it, obviously. But so the reason I decided to do this video today is because I have a friend. I'm not gonna say names or whatever. I'm not gonna put that much of her business out. But she just recently lost her sister, and I texted her and I was just there for her because I kind of know what it's like to go through that. Although he's here, I still felt like I was losing him at that time. So I know the pain that she was going through. I don't know like exactly the pain, but I was trying to be there, you know? So also, if y'all don't drink kiwi strawberry lemonade, it's so fucking good. But so this happened back in April 2020, I believe. It was like, so my brother, he is 22 years old now, or 21. 21 or 22 now. So me and my brother have always been like kind of close, and we always argue, but it's because we're brother and sister, and he's my older brother, so of course we're gonna argue. But at the end of the day, we've always been close to each other. Whenever I go down, he'll go down for me or with me. Whenever he's in something, I'll be in it too, because it's like, that's my best friend at the end of the day. So yeah, this happened in April 2020. How do I explain it? I don't even know where to start, like, honestly. So my brother was getting into a lot of things over here, and he got involved with the wrong people, and he ended up putting himself in wrong situations and doing the wrong things. So yeah, I led up to this. So one day, I'll also like insert pictures of like the day and the accident and whatever. I'm not gonna insert a lot because I like want to keep it to his privacy level, but I'm gonna insert what he's put online and what he would want to be out there. So yeah. Okay, so let's start with the morning. So my mom goes to work. She typically goes to work at like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, and it's just me and my little brother here, or my stepdad here. Well, this day my stepdad had went to work. My brother, he always used to, every morning he would always go out back and just sit there and be on his phone and do whatever he does. And this morning, it felt so weird because let me tell you, like this morning I had woke up at like 9 in the morning, and I told myself like I need to get up. Like something kept telling me, you're gonna regret laying down, like get up, and like I was like, what the hell keeps telling me that? Like no, like my sleep is so much better, like why am I gonna wake up, you know? And I didn't listen, and I stayed asleep. So I stayed asleep, and then my little brother at around like, I think like 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, like it was like 1, I think. My little brother comes to me and he's like, Sissy, like brother's not waking up, like can you wake him up, like he's not waking up for me. And he was out back, and I was like, well, like shake him, like because my back window you could see out back, so I had kind of glanced and he looked fine, like he was just sitting in the chair. And I told my little brother, I said, like, shake him, go wake him up, like, see if he'll wake up. And then my mom calls me, and my mom's like, you need to go out there, like, I told you to go check on him, like, you need to go check on him, da da da. And I was so confused because I was just waking up, so, like, everything was, like, going, like, so fast. And then my stepdad, this is, like, such a miracle that, like, my stepdad had came at the time he did, because he was meant to be at work, but, and he came back because he needed a vacuum, I think it was. A vacuum for, like, the car or something. And he was just going to go to the car wash. Or, I don't even know the whole situation, but I know he ended up coming back home. And that's whenever he called my mom and he said, Amber, like, Rico doesn't look okay, like, whatever. And that's when my little brother came in and told me, like, hey, sissy, like, Rico's not waking up. So then that's when I told my little brother, like, go shake him, like, see if he'll wake up, whatever. So then, so then my little brother ends up going out there, and my stepdad is already trying to wake him up, and like he's not waking up. And he started, so when I went out there, my stepdad was already like, call the ambulance, like, da 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 da. And my mom was blowing up my phone. My mom's a nurse, so she was already at the hospital. And mom kept blowing my phone, is he fine, is he fine? And at this point, like, I was already like in a like emotional shock at this point. So I was like, Mom, leave me alone, like, I don't know, like, let me call the ambulance, because she kept calling me, and like she was like, is he okay, da 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 da. And I was like, dude, like, can you let me figure out if he's okay? Like, I was getting irritated with my mom, but like it was just because I was like scared myself. And so I ended up calling the ambulance, or my stepdad was on the phone with the ambulance, and I ended up helping my stepdad lay him. He was sitting down on like a garden chair that we had, and we have couches in the backyard as well. So to do the CPR, my stepdad wanted him like to lay down on a flat surface. So me and my stepdad ended up grabbing him. So me and my stepdad ended up grabbing him and laying his body, like laying him down on like this couch that we had in the backyard. I'll tell you, it was so hard. Like I was like, oh my god. So so I ended up laying him down, and my stepdad starts doing like CPR, and blood just starts coming out, and like foam, and you know it, like, I don't know if you, I hope y'all have never heard it, but if y'all have, you know the sound a person makes when they're taking their last breath. It was like a loud screaming, wheezing sound, and that's when I just lost it. And my little brother, like, I could tell him, like, go inside, like, stay inside, because like, keep in mind, it was just me, my stepdad, and him here. And so the ambulance ends up getting here about like 5-10 minutes later. Keep in mind, we don't know how long, to this day, we don't know how long my brother didn't have oxygen going to his brain. We don't know, like, I blame it on myself, like, for not getting up and checking on him. But at the same time, I didn't know. Like, if I would have known that this was going to happen, then I would have actually got up. But I didn't know that that was going to happen. So, so the ambulance get here. It was just so chaotic. They were like yelling. They were like, what did he take? Like, what is he on? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know. So then they give him Narcan. And Narcan, if y'all don't know what Narcan is, it's a substance that, or it's whatever. It's a substance that, like, reverses the overdose. So say someone's going into overdose or just having an overdose, it'll reverse the overdose. And yeah. So they gave him that. And then I ended up calling my sister, and I'm like I'm asking her, I'm like, what is he on? Like, what is he taking? Because like she was a little bit closer to him because they're a little bit closer in age. And so she started telling me. So whatever he took, it was upper and a downer, which made his heart end up collapsing, which made him go into overdose because his heart was just like, it was too much. So yeah. So the ambulance ended up putting him on. I have this like violent picture. I don't know if I'm going to put it in yet, but if I do put it in, it's right there. If I don't, then I chose not to. But the ambulance ends up putting him onto the stretcher. And like, it was COVID at this time, so we couldn't go to the hospital. The only one that could be there was my mom because she worked there. And they barely even let her in. So they ended up going... they ended up taking him to the hospital. Keep in mind, all my neighbors are outside, and it's pissing me off because I'm like, I get it, y'all are wanting to know, but this is not a show. Like, I was getting so mad. Like, this is not a show for y'all. Like, what the fuck? Like, get the fuck inside y'all's fucking houses, bro. Like, it was making me so mad. So anyway, so he ends up going to the hospital, and he gets there. My mom's waiting in the medical bay for him. So when he gets there, this is all from my mom's side. I wasn't there, but this is what she told me. He gets there and he's like screaming. Like, you can hear him screaming because like, that's what people who are like struggling to breathe, like, that's what they do. So he's like screaming, trying to breathe. And then he coded. Which coded, if I don't know what coded means, but which means he's like, you know? So he coded, I don't remember for how long, but I know it's a couple minutes. And then, like, they took him into the ICU or whatever, and they were like doing CPR. All the nurses, my mom said all the nurses, like all the nurses in the hospital from that floor ran to him. When they noticed it was my mom's son, they were all taking turns on him, and they were all taking turns, and they finally got him stabilized, and he was on life support, but they got him stabilized to where like he wasn't coding. Then he coded again, and that's never basically the nurses were saying like he wasn't gonna make it overnight, that like there was no way, whatever. So my mom comes home, and when I tell you, the house is just a complete wreck. Like, everyone was texting me because everyone knew me as his sister because we were close. So they were texting me, where's Rico? Is he okay? Da 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 da. And like, it was just coming to me. Like, everything was coming to me because my mom couldn't handle it anymore. So like, nothing was going to her. So all I kept telling people was he's fine. Like, that's all I kept telling people, because like, it wasn't their business to know, and I didn't know yet, so it wasn't really their business. So the first night comes of him being in the hospital, and they're telling us like that he's not gonna make it, whatever. And I'm watching like videos on my TV, just crying of us, like just bawling my eyes out. And like, I'm like telling my mom like, no, like there's no way. Like, I remember telling my mom there's no way that he's not gonna make it. And so yeah, I ended up telling my mom like, there's no way that he's not gonna make it. Like, he has to make it. Like, he won't give up. And she's like, I don't know, like whatever. Like, my mom was really straightforward. Like, she didn't know. The first night, that was that. We were like, he's not gonna make it, whatever. And I just kept telling everyone, no, like my brother's gonna make it. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, he's gonna make it. Like, that's all I kept saying. And I could be like y'all would see how much of an emotional wreck I was. I couldn't even hold myself together. It's gonna be okay. I was wearing all his clothes, his chain. My mom brought home his chain, and I was just looking at it and just crying. I was like, there's no way, like, my brother can be gone, like, there's no freaking way. And, so then, the next day comes, and my mom goes back to the hospital, and, she goes back or whatever, and he's still on life support, still the same thing. Okay, so, the first night, I think it was, they had told us that they were gonna freeze his, organs, or they're gonna, like, put a freezing blanket on him and whatever. So that was the first night, and they were also saying he wasn't gonna make it, but they were gonna put the freezing blanket on his body, so like his organs can start to work or whatever. I don't really know how that works, but they put the freezing blanket on him that night, and the next morning his organs started to work properly. They were getting better. So it was like a miracle from one night saying like he wasn't gonna make it through the night to he made it through the night, and then the morning his organs were working properly. And I told everyone, I was like, told you so, like my brother's gonna make it, like, you know. So then my brother, so then my mom went to the hospital the next morning, and he was still on life support. He still didn't have his eyes open. I think the second or the third day, so it was the same thing for like 2 days. I think it was the second or the third day that he finally kind of opened his eyes, and he was like telling my mom, like he kept trying to call mom, but he had a tube in his like throat, so he couldn't say it. So he says from his point of view now, like whatever, when he was like that on life support, that like he felt like when he had coded, he said that when he like was not here, he felt himself drowning, and like something kept telling, like pulling him up, like no, like you're not gone. But like I don't know how I'm gonna just have to like in a separate video like get him to explain what he saw, because it was just crazy like how he came back and he told us everything. But yeah, that's for another video. So off this, okay, so that was all week. So then they took him off for life support. I think it was a weekend. I don't even know the freaking days, like, honestly. Like, it was just such a blur to me. Like, I don't even remember, like, half a month because it was just so messy. Like, I just couldn't. So anyway, so then the doctors also said that, like, if he was to come back, that he was going to be a vegetable, which means he couldn't walk, he couldn't talk, he couldn't read, he couldn't do anything. Like, he was going to be there, like, just there. But he wasn't able to do anything. And I was like, no, like, there's no fucking way. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, my brother's not. Like, no. And so he wakes up. They took him off of life support. He gets up. And he didn't have the ability to walk. He could talk, but there was some words I think he forgot. He couldn't see. He wasn't blind, but he was very hard for him to see. He, like, would have to draw out your
discharge date 24.
What time?
11 a.m.
You got it.
your face to realize who you were and figure out who you were. And he couldn't really use his hands. His hands were very twitchy.
I'm able to do it very easily. Like grabbing a cantaloupe. This cantaloupe, right?
Mm-hmm.
On my left side, I have problems. It's gonna be a challenge.
But you're gonna do it.
You're right. Here we go.
I think I should put it on the blanket.
No, I got this, Mom.
It's harder to grab out of a cup right now.
It's hard for me to use in my hand, but I got this, dude. Does it matter how I grab it, or do I have to grab it like?
I don't care how you grab it.
All right, look, I'm gonna grab it for sure. You ready?
But I think we should lay it on the cover.
All right.
There.
Still recording?
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't read. I had to teach him how to read again. He wasn't able to do a lot of things on his own. So my mom ended up, like, there's like videos. I'm just gonna put in videos just to show y'all how he was.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. There you go. Keep your head up.
Yeah.
Keep your...
Yeah. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now your mom was texting me. Good.
I don't know if that's the same. See if you can find the other one. There you go. Very good.
So, now that y'all seen those, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, how he was, whatever. I think it was like 2 weeks later, he had got sent to rehab, rehab to, like, learn how to talk and walk and do all of that. He learned all of that there. And my dad had ended up staying with him there because it was only one person that could stay there the whole month. Like, you couldn't leave. Like, you could only stay there. So my mom was like, I have other kids. Like, please, can you stay? Whatever. So my dad ended up staying at the rehab place. And this, like, breaks my heart to this day. Like, I think this is the most sensitive part of this whole story is we had went to the rehab place. And my mom, and keep in mind, I was not myself at this time. I was so lost. Like, I was just like, where's my brother? Like, whatever. Went to the rehab place, and I didn't know how bad he was at this. So he went to the rehab, and we went one night, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and like the visiting hours are over. We really weren't supposed to do this, but I was like, I want to see my brother. Like, please take me to see my brother. So we went, and I was like looking through the window, and like, this gets me every time, bro. Every time I bring up this story, it gets to me. So we get to the window where he is, like the room, and he gets there, and he like, I don't even know what he thought, but like, So we get there to the window, and he sees me, and like he draws me out. So it took him a minute because I thought he couldn't recognize me. So I started crying, but like not showing it, but like I was crying. And like my mom's like, give him a minute. So he starts drawing me out, and he goes, Nana. And that was our first time like seeing each other. Like, I'm sorry, like I apologize. Like I thought I was not gonna cry. I actually thought I was not gonna cry. So he draws me out, and he's like, Nana. And I'm like, oh, like he remembered. So anyway, so then he starts showing me like he can open a bag of chips, because I mean that was a big accomplishment for him. So he starts showing me he can open a bag of chips, and like he was showing me with like these little kid toys, like picking them up. He could pick them up by himself. He could stack them again. Like I was so proud of him. And so yeah, that was one of the only times I got to see him. We would FaceTime him, but that was one of the only times I got to see him. So then the day of his birthday, he ended up getting out of rehab. I'm sorry if y'all hear my dog. So the day of his birthday, he ended up getting out, and he didn't want none of us to pick him up but his girlfriend. So his girlfriend ended up picking him up, brought him home. And yeah, it's basically like this is what happened. And then just like those days, like we would help him, we would go on walks. We would go on walks, we would read little books in the morning. We'll wake up, read little books in the morning. I'll feed him. He'll get in the shower. I'll get his clothes. And it was like a lot of that. Like it was basically me taking care of him for a little while. Me and my mom, whatever. And yeah, he eventually became freaking normal again. I wouldn't say he's normal now, but he became able to do things for himself again. So I was just like a really big bro, my dog is so annoying. I don't really know, like my brother's just my brother. Like I don't know how to explain it, but he became a different Rico, but he's a Rico. So yeah, if you've been following me for a long time, you know kind of what happened. You don't know exactly the story, but here's the story 2 years later. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If y'all have ever went through this, know y'all are not alone. I got very lucky not losing him, but it felt like I lost him for a little bit, and I never like want to feel that again. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if you're ever going through something, know you're not alone. A lot of people are going through the same things you're going through. They just don't open up about it, so you don't know. But I love y'all, and see y'all in my next video.
Write a whole sentence out. What does it say?
I'm papi chulo.
Do you want it folded or a twist? Act like I know.